Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. In this video, I'm going to show you a classic example of what not to do. Someone dubbed the Chartmaster on CNBC telling everyone to sell their Bitcoin before the huge breakout at $20,000. This advice probably cost millions of people millions of dollars because he told everyone to trim their Bitcoin holdings. So first, let's look at the clip together. Let me react to it, and then let me give you my final thoughts. All right, let's get started. Let's take a look at the clip. It's pretty short, and it's pretty self-explanatory, so I don't really have to say much, but let's take a look at it together.
On an absolute tear, crossing the $18,000 mark overnight for the first time since December 2017. The Chartmaster called the huge breakout all the way back in June, but now he is saying it could be time to cut back on the crypto. Cornerstone Macro's Carter Worth joins us with the charts. Hey, Carter, take it away.
Well, I think that's the right word, a tear. And so the question is, do you reduce or trim into this move? And I think the answer is yes. Let's look at a few charts, the first of three. This is Bitcoin as of July, and what we have here, of course, is the crypto's right up against the downtrend line, in effect, since the all-time high in December of 2018. Now, if you look at the next chart, we have this very clear breakout. Okay,
I just want to stop right there real quick, right? So the first chart was great, right? It did show that Bitcoin, obviously in a downtrend, couldn't break through the trend line. Now, clearly, Bitcoin broke through that, right? So at the time of this, which back in November 18, Bitcoin was around 18,000, you saw, it's getting near the top, right? So this is what you call a breakout, a big breakout. Even from a chart perspective, right? From a charting perspective, you don't want to ignore these kind of breakouts, right? So that's where I'm a little confused, but the Chartmaster, you know, he knows more than me, and he's going to explain why.
That's sort of the move that is interesting. It's a double, essentially. We were stuck at 9,000. Here we are at 18,000. But you can also see the level we're approaching, which is the former high. Third chart, final chart, and let's talk about it a little bit. In principle, a stock, a currency, commodity, anything that gets back to a former high will often contend with it before exceeding it. And while we're not quite at that high was 19,500, and where today's high was 18,500, we're within 5-6%. So the thinking is here to start to reduce, and if and as we were to get as high as the former high, to start to reduce even more. It's very unusual to break out before backing and filling or backing away from a prior well-defined spike high, such as we saw in December of 2017. Exactly 3 years ago.
Wow.
He's afraid there's going to be a double top, right? And I think a lot of people are afraid of that. Once you hit 20,000, maybe, you know, Bitcoin comes down in a big way. So he told people to trim, right? The problem with this is the charts does not take into account money coming in. The charts look at past history, yes, and it works until it doesn't. This doesn't take into account the massive amount of FOMO that built among the institutions and how much money, the billions and billions and billions that started flowing in, and the charts don't account for that. So in terms of what the Chartmaster said, I guess, you know, if he phrased it like, okay, it's time to be cautious, let's trim a little bit just in case it falls down, then you can buy back, right? But you don't want to sell too much in case it does go back up. But he didn't preface that. He just said basically start trimming because he was afraid that it was just going to come down hard, right? But this is the problem with technical analysis and with charting, because you can't predict if money is going to be coming in or out, right? And in this case, money came in, and it came in hard like an avalanche. And we know what happened afterwards, because Bitcoin not only broke out, remember we woke up and it didn't just break out to 21, 22. It broke up all the way to 24. And since then, it has been breaking and breaking and breaking higher. So unfortunately, this advice that the Chartmaster gave cost a lot of people a lot of money by telling them to trim And those people are looking to buy back, and they probably had to FOMO back in because now they're buying back at $33,000, and they lost out on a lot of Bitcoin. But there is a second part to this, not from the Chartmaster, but there's someone else that was asked about this. So let's take a listen.
Wow. Carter, thank you. Carter Worth at Cornerstone Macro. Karen, what do you make of that chart?
Well, hard to bet against Carter, right? However, I'm in this sort of for the long term. Early on, I got my money back, and so I sort of feel like I'm playing with the house's money, and the theory has yet to play out if we do see inflation. I'm a longer term holder of Bitcoin, so I'm hanging on.
Now, the point of this video is this. I believe there are two types of people that get into Bitcoin. You have the traders that are looking to swing trade and day trade, and they focus more on short-term, mid-term gains. So they're looking at a lot of trends, a lot of indicators that tell them what Bitcoin may or may not do in the future. But then you have people that are in it for the long haul. People that are focused on the fundamentals, like I am. And I believe this is the better way to invest in Bitcoin. If you look at all the richest people that made the most money from Bitcoin, what they did was buy early, buy low, and hold. And that is it. They didn't care about what the charts were saying or if they should sell now or buy back later. No, they simply bought and hodled. And that is the right thing to do. Now, I'm not saying you can't make money day trading or swing trading. You certainly can. But as you saw, that advice from Carter cost a lot of people money. Some serious money, not just a small amount, some serious money. So what I'm focusing on and what I believe you should focus on is the bigger picture, right? Where Bitcoin will be in the next 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. Not so much where it's going to be tomorrow or the next day, although that's very exciting. But the main picture is to focus on long term. You can see what's happening right now with institutions adopting Bitcoin. You could also see publicly traded companies, hedge funds, pensions, retirement funds. They're all looking into Bitcoin as well. And let's not forget, countries are also looking into Bitcoin and crypto. And that is just the beginning. It is just the beginning. So that is what I'm focusing on, and hopefully you are too. You'll have a lot less stress, and you're going to make a lot more money in the long run. At least that's what I believe in. So what are your thoughts about Carter and the Chartmaster? And what are your thoughts about day trading, swing trading versus holding for the long haul? Leave your comments below. Thanks for watching. Hit the like and subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for my future videos. And while you're waiting, check out these two others.